Manchester United 0, Real Sociedad 0. Frustrating game, frustrating 90 minutes. Ultimately, that game was between two big. It was decided over two big decisions in the game. One was the penalty miss, and the other was the goal by Twanzebe. Penalty miss, terrible penalty from I think it was Yazabel. Terrible penalty, skied it. I felt a bit put bad for Dan James and that actually when he gave it away. I think it was just a bit. He kind of rushed it a bit too much. I think he wanted it, but I felt, and I hope he's not injured for that. May I say as well. I know Dan was laying down for a bit. Hopefully he's not injured. He's been playing well recently. I'm one of those people who never want someone to get injured. But I also, when you got players like that, I'd love to see players like him turn it around for us. I'm never one to give up on a player. I think Dan James was really poor, but he was poor in the start of the season or end of last season, but I think he started to get his form back. Hopefully he's not injured. Hopefully not. But because I think he is a I'm not going to say he's a valuable player, but he does add an extra something to the team. But yeah, people would argue with that. But moving on from that, the goal for us, I don't know what Lindelof was doing. I can get it, but I can't get it. I can get it in the sense that you're going up for the header, so your knee's going up, because obviously the foul, regardless of whether Lindelof got a header on it and scored or Twanzebe scored, which he did, it's still a foul. But he went up to head it, and obviously he went up in a way that his knee went really high. But the defender's head was in the air, like positioned in the air where his knee whacked it, and I don't know what Lindelof was doing. It was really reckless, and I feel for Twanzebe because for Twanzebe to win that game would have been a statement. Not just for this game, but for the season. I think there's been a lot of critics over Twanzebe since that. I think it's been unfair on him. He had a brilliant game against PSG. And he hasn't been managed well enough, I don't think, for me personally. And then that was a great goal from him. Unfortunately, Lindelof, the clown who he is, ruins it once again. I don't know about Lindelof. I don't think Lindelof played that bad defensively. If I was going to give him a score, if I could go, I can go through the team and my scores. I'll give you a rating out of 10. I would say Henderson would probably be like a 6, probably because he didn't do much, and then Bailly probably a 7. 1 second, sorry. Bailly probably a 7, between 7 and 8. Lindelof between 6 and 7. I don't think Lindelof played that bad, except from that stupid bit of misjudgment. He was pretty decent defensively. It's a shame. It's put a bad cloud over his actual game, which was not that bad. Like, if I'm going to be honest, but it was above average. And it's a shame for Lindelof. I don't see why he had to do that, but there we go. Then the right back, Wan-Bissaka. I don't think Wan-Bissaka played that badly. I don't see why he played anyway. Probably like a 6. I don't think he should have played anyway. He played decently. Then Brandon Williams came on for him. Mate, 4 or 5. Poor. I don't know with Brandon Williams. I honestly don't know. He hasn't got the. I think it's maybe he got to go out loan. He hasn't got the footballing ability for me at the moment. He just. He hasn't. Like, there was a couple of times where he just tried to do an overlap for Diallo when there just wasn't the chance to do it. There was no real overlap to do, and he just did it. And there was a couple of times where he was rash with his tackles. He hasn't got the football knowledge or at this level. I say obviously last season he had lots of games, but he was young, he was just coming into it. I think now he's got to go out low and get some experience. I don't think he's a bad. The thing is, if Brandon could kick out the petulance, this sort of the recklessness, and maybe add a bit more to his football mindset, I think he'd be a decent player. I don't know whether he would ever be Man United first choice right back, but he would be a decent player. Whether or not, I don't know. I can't say on that. For me, he shouldn't be the backup right back at the moment. He's not reliable. You know, you look at Shaw and Tellers. Tellers is if you put Tellers, compare that to Brandon Williams and Wan-Bissaka. Like, I don't know what to say. You know, for me at the moment, there's not many teams in the Premier League who have Brandon Williams as their right back. There's not many teams. You know, maybe West Brom, and even them, I don't know. Maybe Fulham, maybe Sheffield United, maybe Newcastle, but except from them lot, probably wouldn't get him for Brighton over Lamptey, but you know, he's not. I don't think he should even be our backup right back at the moment. And I don't think it's good for him, for his confidence. It's just he's not there with his experience. He's got to go on loan for me, and then we can decide whether he's a United player or not. At the moment, we're sort of just ruining his confidence, if I'm going to be honest. I think with it's a bit similar to the Dan James thing, in the sense that they played a lot first season and now they've just been put out to dry. Whereas with Dan James, he's regained his form. I can't see that regained his form. He's got back to a level where I'd say, you know, he's bench level. Brandon Williams, I can't see it. I can't see it with him. And I'd love for him to be the backup right back, but at the moment, no, not for me. Not for me. If you can't... That was a game where we were 4-0 up on aggregate. There weren't much pressure on you. Just play your game. And he didn't do much, unfortunately. And the thing is, our players didn't even trust him. Like, we never played on the right-hand side. I said it on the stream. It was all on the left. You could see that Matic would get the ball on the left-hand side, and instead of passing it to Brandon, he'd cut back in and then go back out instead of passing to the right, he'd cut back in and then switch it back to the left-hand side. So, yeah, I think he's got to go on loan or something at the end of the season. Go out on loan for next season, get some experience, and then get a backup right back. Get in Aaron's, get in someone. It's not got to be someone amazing, just someone all right. Left back, Alex Tellez, probably like... I would say he had his best game, maybe a 6. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh on him. You could say... I don't think he was that present in the game, though. So I probably would say a 6. I don't think his crosses were of his standard either. So, yeah. 6. Matic, I think Matic played pretty decent. There was maybe a couple missed passes, but I think Matic played pretty decent, you know. I think you've got better when I think he played better when Twanzebe came on. Matic probably between 6 and a 7, urging on 7, so probably about 7 for Matic. Yeah, pretty decent. I want to see more of that from Matic. Not taking so many touches on the ball. In the second half, he was more direct with his passing, just getting it and passing, instead of playing like taking 5, 6, 7 touches. Fred 6, because he only played a half. I don't think he did much. Yeah, 6. Twanzebe 8, 7 or 8, man. Twanzebe, when he came on, he did the role. He did the Fred role really well. He did the Fred. He had the energy. He did a few really good interceptions. Obviously, he got the goal, which, if it weren't for Lindelof, should have counted. Would have counted. And I think because of Twanzebe coming on, Matic was able to play better. So, yeah, 7.5. Then we've got, who else have we got? We've got Dan James. Or shall I do Bruno? I'll do Bruno first. Bruno, probably like a 6. I wouldn't say lower than a 6 because he only played a half. Obviously, he hit the crossbar. Could have scored one of those games for Bruno. Dan James, 5, between 5 and a 6. Maybe that's a bit harsh. 5.5. I don't think it was probably a bit below average for him with recent games. I think he didn't get much of the ball. He had one really good chance. Maybe I could say 6. He had one really good chance where he headed it and the goalie made a good save. He did look, his movement has been looking a lot better in recent weeks. I would say that about Dan. So yeah, about, what did I say, 6 for Dan. Then we got Mason. I think he was a lot better in the first half. But then again, he made a couple shots. 6.5. Maybe that's a bit too much, 6. He didn't influence the game too much. I think it was the right decision to take him off. I want to see him more of the number 9 role, in the striker role. If Martial plays on the weekend, I'm going to be devastated. I haven't seen the updates on Cavani yet, but moving on to that, we'll do Rashford next. Rashford, probably a... What would I give Rashford? A 6? I don't know. He didn't do anything. 5.5, 6. He didn't do anything. I can't knock him down because he didn't do anything major, but then he didn't really do anything. Maybe he actually lost the ball a couple of times. 5 for me. So yeah, he didn't do anything. He did a couple things wrong. He didn't really do anything right. So in terms of big things right, he didn't score, get the assist, but not just that. He didn't really make any direct runs, which I normally like him. What I like for Rashford to do is run at his fullback, run at it, and then try and cut in and score, which obviously he does a lot of the time. Moving on from that, Diallo. I think he was a victim of the whole Brandon Williams thing. I think he came on, he saw he had an impact. I don't think he played that. I think you saw a couple of times with his touches he was good. His class. I think he was just a victim of the whole Brandon Williams thing. He couldn't get on the ball. As simple as that. No one was passing down that side, so he couldn't get the ball. Yeah, he had hardly any touches. So I'll give him a 6. You could maybe I was being a bit harsh. 6.5. The thing is, he did do a couple. There was a move with him and Martial where I thought, if Martial, I thought it was still in, but it was really good. It was really good. Yeah, I wanted Diallo to start. I want to see more of him. Obviously, he got 35, half an hour today. I want to see him get maybe 10 minutes against Chelsea. Who have we got next? Crystal Palace, is it? See him get some minutes against Crystal Palace. I just want to see him keep getting those minutes, getting that. I know he's played for Atalanta, but I want to see him keep getting that experience. Moving on from that, we've got Shortire. Give him a 6. Didn't do much. Had a lot of energy when he came on. Obviously, he's the youngest youngest United player to get an appearance in the Europe. Something like 17 in like 14 days or something stupid. Ahead of Greenwood actually in the normal Whiteside. Yeah, I think with Shortire as well, it's another one you've got to just give him time. I don't think he's yet ready to go into the first team, or not like that. He's ready at this level, is what I'm trying to say. So he's a bit different to Diallo. I think that's where people go wrong. Diallo was playing and he had minutes in the Champions League. He had minutes, obviously, in Serie A. Players like Shortire, they've just been playing under 23, so it's going to take him a lot of time to get known to his surroundings, training with the first team, all of that. But then finally we had Martial. Disappointing. I love Martial. I think he played better today, but with his hold-up play was good. I think he does himself disservice. He really does. His hold-up play was good, but he just doesn't have that quickness to himself at the moment. He just doesn't. I think it'll come, and when it comes, the goals will come. Trust me. I was saying in the stream, don't worry about these open goal thing. The open goal things are not. That's not where Martial gets his goals from. I'm not worried about that. It's not. I'm worried about the crosses and the stuff where he can get to it. If he just gets that little bit, half a yard extra, I think, he can get. If he can get it back, how many goals? He's on 7 at the moment in all comps. He could get to 15 this season. Definitely. I think that. I just, the problem is that he just doesn't have it at the moment. I'm one to say, if it doesn't come, you've got to question it. You've got to start saying, how much longer are we going to take? I love Martial, and I think you've got to be patient with him. You can't start saying, oh, Martial's a fraud, Martial's whatever. Because he's shown his quality. Yeah, I know. He's clearly a talented player. He's clearly, last season, he did really well for us. But at the moment, he just doesn't have that little bit. He doesn't have that little bit for us. I think in the Southampton game, he did show it. Just hasn't got it at the moment when he's playing against these teams. I don't know what it is. It's just that little bit. It's that little bit, and it's sad to see. Personally, I really want Martial to get back onto his form, but it's going to be hard to see him doing it now. But I just hopefully, the thing is, he always scores against Chelsea. I've said that before, but I can't see him at the moment. I was saying that before. Every game, I'm saying to myself, I hope Martial scores. I hope he scores in this one. And he keeps not doing it at the moment. He's going through a bad patch. I don't think you can say not a flop, he's whatever. Say all that. We can leave the rival fans to say that stuff. He will come good. I'm telling you that for a fact. it's just that it's a mentality thing at the moment. It's not a he's got the quality. I'm telling you that for a fact. It's not a quality problem. You know, if you're not able to do that extra half a yard to get to the ball, that's not quality. Quality is not being able to score. Yeah, Martial can score if he gets into that position. He'll score that goal. But it's having that half a yard to get to that ball to be able to get the shot off, which he isn't doing at the moment. I don't care about the one shot on he missed on the one open goal or whatever. I don't care about it. It's the this continuously keeps happening. It happened against Newcastle a few times where ball comes in and he's kind of just jogging to the ball. Where if he just gets that little bit more, he might not get to it, but he may well get to it. And if he does, I'm backing him to score. So, especially in those sort of positions, I think it'll come, and you've got to trust it. You've got to trust it. When it does come, it's going to come really well. It's going to come really well, and hopefully it comes on the weekend, and hopefully it comes on Sunday. But let's wait and see. You know, poor result today. Finally, you know, I'll go over this poor result. It's one. You know, a lot of fans have been saying this game is irrelevant. You know, it doesn't matter. Don't care about it. I think obviously the tie itself was done, but this game was more important than that. I think because this game, if we won it, would have given us a little bit more in that Chelsea, given us a little bit more going into the Chelsea game, giving the boys a little bit more. You know, if Twanzebe won, Twanzebe scored, sorry, or you know. And not only that, Bruno did play, Rashford did play. There was a few of our first teamers playing, so it would have been frustrating for them. It's not. Let's not think this hasn't had an impact on the Chelsea game. You know, this does have an impact. Yeah, the tie is over. The tie was over. I'm not denying that. I'm saying this draw does have an impact. You know, but they're going to have to take it. We didn't lose. We kept a clean sheet. Not a good result, but on to the Chelsea on Sunday. Come on, United.